When I first read the script, I thought to myself, if we do it right, it's going to be kind of like a water cooler sort of show, where people will be saying, "Can you believe? I can't believe what happened last night on the following." And that, so far, and we're into episode 7. I feel like we've been pretty successful with that. Yeah, it kind of felt like the passing of the baton, but it really wasn't that. I actually started to explore the idea of doing TV probably, I don't know, 3 or 4 years ago, but there just wasn't anything that I liked, or that I felt was there were things that I liked, but there was nothing that I felt was like a really good match with me, and it just happened that timing-wise, this one came along and hers ended, and we just switched roles, you know.
It is an intense role for him, but he's got the secret, man. He can just turn it on and turn it off. It is such a marvel to watch. And there are people who can do it. I'm getting better at it. But you know, I think the longer you do it, the less sort of angsty you become, and you realize that there are tricks and there are ways to do it without absolutely destroying your psyche. And he's great at it. He's so there's a lightness about him, regardless of how heavy the scenes get.
You know, Kevin's an incredible actor, and also he's a movie star. You know, he's both of those things that, you know, that doesn't necessarily always happen. One doesn't necessarily equate the other. And it's really cool to be working with someone that you've grown up watching. And there's sort of that moment. For me, it was at the table read when we were all sitting down reading the script for the first time. I was like, that's Kevin Bacon right there, and I'm going to be doing a show with them, and I have scenes with them, and I get to interact with an actor that I really appreciate.
Oh, I mean, he's fantastic. He's a fantastic actor, and like is truly like, he's truly bringing it to all these scenes. But he's a lovely person too. So it's not. I mean, you know, it's like you really do feel like, yeah, he can like get in there, get as gruesome as it needs to get in the scene, and just be a really pleasant guy to hang with in between shots, you know.
I mean, I think the scripts are really exciting and really scary, and when I get them, which is often right before we start shooting it, I can't wait to see where it's going to go, and I'm constantly surprised, because I don't really have a notion. You know, there's no one's ever said to me, oh, "Okay, this is where the story is going to go." So I'm thrilled. I think it's going to be one of the fun things about watching the show, is to see what happens week after week.
What got me, I read a lot of television series this year, and this was the one that, there's always the one that you're like, I want to be on that one. You know, you got to audition for everything, you got to throw it out there, but this was the show that really got me, it hooked me, it shocked me. It's, again, I read a lot of scripts. I pride myself on being able to spot where the twists are going to be or where things are going to go. You just, you know, you read a lot and you sort of figure those things out. And Kevin Williamson sort of broke the mold with this pilot. I mean, I was 2 or 3 times completely shocked.
I think one of the big challenges for me, I'm quite a gregarious chap to most oftentimes, and I think one of the things about it is turning on the idea that you have no empathy for other people's pain or sorrow, and that you use their pain and you use their sorrow and you use their hurt for your own benefit and your own end. That's quite a dark place to spend time with.
What's actually interesting is when you look at kind of the horrific stuff that these people have to deal with, even though they see it all the time and it's their job and it's a part of who they are, I think you still have to try to remember that we're still kind of human beings. And sometimes there's moments when all of us, you know, will see something as characters in the film, and it's almost too much, you know. It becomes overwhelming.
I know what it is. You know, I know it's jam. You know, I'm on the other side of it, so you know, I know what it is. I have a kid, for example, who, you know, now nothing really movies phases him at all, because he's been on a set with me. He's seen the prosthetics guys doing their job. He's seen the way we do fights, and you know, so you know, once you've been on the other side a little bit, you know, you kind of understand about the make-believe aspect of it much more. So
a lot of the violence is shocking and is very real. It's not. I don't think it's overdone. It's just, it is what it is. This is what happens. And it's difficult to be around sometimes, but yeah, I'm not squeamish either. So when there's blood and guts, it's not too hard to be around.
It's so gruesome. It's really, really, really gory. Like I have to say, the first episode that I shot, I was like, oh my gosh. I mean, there were like a couple of things that I walked into that I was like, that is terrifying and awful. And I give these guys so much credit. They're so ambitious in what they're doing. And I think the audience is going to be like shocked and frightened in a great, great way.